Hi, I'm Demi. At least that's what they tell me. The first thing I remember is the steady beep of a heart monitor and the sterile smell of antiseptic. When I opened my eyes, a man with sandy brown hair was holding my hand, relief washing over his face. "Demi, thank God you're awake," he said, squeezing my fingers. "The doctors weren't sure when you'd come around." I stared at him, searching for familiarity in his green eyes. Nothing. Blank. "I'm sorry, but who are you?" I asked, my voice raspy from disuse. His smile faltered. "It's me, Ryan, your fiancé." A doctor entered then, clipboard in hand, her expression professionally neutral. "Miss Carter, I'm Dr. Wheeler. How are you feeling?" she asked, checking the monitors. "Confused," I admitted. "My head hurts, and I don't remember him." I nodded toward Ryan. Dr. Wheeler nodded. "That's not uncommon with traumatic brain injuries. You suffered a severe concussion after falling down a flight of stairs 3 days ago. Some memory loss is expected." "How much memory?" I asked. "That varies patient to patient," she replied, shining a light in my eyes. "What's the last thing you remember?" I closed my eyes, concentrating through the fog. "I was at work? Something about a promotion?" Ryan leaned forward. "That was almost 8 months ago, Dem." Dr. Wheeler made notes. "The brain is resilient. Memories often return gradually, but some gaps may remain permanent. We'll run more tests tomorrow." After she left, Ryan pulled his chair closer. "We've been together for 2 years, engaged for 3 months. He showed me a photo on his phone, us smiling, my hand displaying a diamond ring. "I'm sorry," I said. "It's just blank." "Don't worry," he said, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. "I'll help you remember everything." Later that afternoon, a woman with curly black hair burst into my room, nearly colliding with a nurse. "Demi, I came as soon as my flight landed," she exclaimed, giving me a gentle hug. Ryan stood. "Mia, she's having memory issues." "We've been best friends since 6th grade," Mia said directly to me. "I live in Chicago now, but we talk every day." Something about her felt instantly familiar. "Mia," I repeated. I think I remember your voice." Her face lit up. "Really? That's great." Ryan checked his watch. "I'm going to grab coffee. Want anything, Mia?" "No, I'm good," she replied, her smile fading as he left the room. The moment the door closed, Mia's expression changed completely. "Listen carefully," she whispered, leaning close. "I don't have much time. Something's not right about your accident." "What do you mean?" I asked. "Ryan called me after it happened. Said you were clumsy, missed a step. But Mrs. Patel from next door called me too. She heard shouting before you fell." My heart began racing. "Shouting?" "Your neighbor said it was a huge argument. She was about to call someone when she heard the crash and your scream." "Are you saying Ryan—" "I don't know exactly," Mia said, squeezing my hand. "But he's been controlling you for months. You called me 2 weeks ago saying you wanted to break off the engagement." The door handle turned and Mia quickly pulled back. Ryan entered with his coffee. "Doctor says you should rest, Demi. Maybe Mia can come back tomorrow?" Mia stood, giving me a meaningful look. "Of course. I'll be staying at the Comfort Inn downtown. Call me anytime." She emphasized the last words, her eyes never leaving mine. As she left, Ryan sat beside me again, his smile perfect, practiced. "She always was dramatic," he said lightly. "Let me tell you about our first date. Maybe it'll help jog your memory." I nodded, listening, but all I could think about was the coldness behind his eyes and the growing certainty that the person who had put me in this hospital bed was sitting right beside me, holding my hand. 3 days later, I was discharged with a follow-up appointment schedule and a prescription for my headaches. Ryan insisted I move back into our apartment, despite Mia's objections. "You should stay with me at the hotel," she argued as Ryan packed my few belongings. "Just until you're more recovered." "She needs familiar surroundings," Ryan countered. "The doctor said it might help her memory." "The doctor also said she needs rest and minimal stress," Mia shot back. I interrupted their bickering. "I want to go home. Maybe it will help me remember." The truth was, I needed to investigate what had really happened that night, and our apartment was the crime scene. The moment we arrived, I felt uneasy. Nothing seemed familiar. Not the furniture, the photos on the wall, not even my own bedroom. "I need to run to the pharmacy," Ryan said after settling me on the couch. "Will you be okay alone for 20 minutes?" "I'll be fine," I assured him, already planning my search. The moment his car pulled away, I began exploring. In the study, I found a locked desk drawer. After searching frantically, I located a key taped under the desk. Inside were financial statements showing large withdrawals from a joint account and a folder labeled Demi Medical. My phone rang. Mia. "He's gone to the pharmacy," I said immediately. "I found something weird. Medical documents with my signature, but I don't remember signing them." "What kind of documents?" "Insurance forms, mostly. And there's a policy taken out 6 months ago. Ryan is the beneficiary." "That's when he started changing," Mia said. "Listen, I'm meeting someone who might help us. Can you meet me at Riverside Cafe at 3 o'clock? "Who is it?" "Someone from Ryan's past?" At the cafe, Mia was sitting with a blonde woman who looked vaguely familiar. "Demi, this is Claire," Mia said. "Ryan's ex-girlfriend." Claire's expression was grim. "You don't remember me, but we met briefly last year. Ryan wasn't happy about it." "Why not?" I asked. "Because I know what he's capable of," Claire replied, pushing up her sleeve to reveal a faded scar. 4 years ago, I fell down the stairs, too. My blood went cold. "He did that to you?" "After I discovered he'd been embezzling from my parents' company. When I confronted him, he pushed me, claimed it was an accident, that I was drunk and tripped." "Did you report him?" Mia asked. "I tried," Claire sighed, "but he had everyone convinced I was unstable. My own parents believed him over me." "So he has a pattern," I said slowly. Claire nodded. "When I saw your engagement announcement in the paper, I tried to warn you. Ryan threatened me, said I was just jealous." "Demi, you've been withdrawing from everyone," Mia added. "And then you called me about breaking off the engagement. You said you found something on his computer but wouldn't tell me what." "I need to get back into his computer," I said. As I stood to leave, Dr. Wheeler entered the cafe, spotting me immediately. "Demi? What a coincidence," she said, approaching our table. "Dr. Wheeler, this is my friend Mia and Claire," I introduced them. "How are you feeling?" she asked. "Physically better," I answered carefully. "But I've been having flashes, not quite memories, more like feelings." Dr. Wheeler nodded. "That's common. Trust those instincts, Demi. The emotional memory often returns before factual memory." I hesitated, then asked, "My injury, could it have been caused by something other than an accidental fall?" Her professional demeanor slipped slightly. "The trauma is consistent with a fall, but the pattern of bruising was unusual. I noted it in your file." "Unusual how?" Mia pressed. "There were defensive bruises on the forearms," Dr. Wheeler said quietly. "I'm obligated to report suspicious injuries. I've already spoken with Detective Parker from Domestic Violence." As Dr. Wheeler left, Claire reached across the table. "You're not alone this time, Demi. We'll help you prove what he did." Back at the apartment, I used the time alone to search Ryan's computer. His password, my birth date, was easy to guess. What I found made me sick. Emails discussing the life insurance policy with his brother, searches on undetectable poisons and brain injury recovery chances, and a drafted email to my workplace explaining my indefinite leave of absence. I copied everything to a flash drive just as his key turned in the lock. "What are you doing?" Ryan asked, seeing me at his computer. "Looking for photos," I lied smoothly, trying to jog my memory. He seemed to accept this, setting down groceries. "Find anything interesting?" "Actually, yes," I said, closing the laptop. I remembered something about the night I fell. His movement stilled. "Really? What was it?" "I remembered we argued," I said, watching his reaction. "About money." Ryan's expression shifted subtly. "The doctors said your memories might be confused at first." Stop lying, Ryan, I interrupted. I know about the insurance policy. I know about the money you've been stealing from our joint account. Demi, you're not thinking clearly. I'm thinking more clearly than I have in months, I retorted. Claire told me everything. At the mention of Claire, his facade cracked. You talked to that crazy bitch? She's been trying to destroy me for years. Is she crazy, or is she the only one who knows what you really are? Ryan stepped toward me, his charm evaporating. You have no idea what you're talking about. Your brain is damaged. Who's going to believe you? Detective Parker might, I countered. And my doctor. They already suspect something. His laugh was cold. You have no proof. I held up the flash drive. Don't I? The change was instantaneous. Ryan lunged for me, grabbing my wrist so hard I cried out. Give me that, he hissed. Let go of me, I shouted. You ungrateful bitch, he snarled. After everything I've done for you. The door burst open. Detective Parker stood there with Mia and an officer. Everything okay in here? Parker asked, though her eyes said she knew it wasn't. Ryan immediately released my arm, his demeanor transforming. Just a misunderstanding. My fiancé is confused. I'm not confused, I cut him off. And I'm not your fiancé anymore. I turned to Detective Parker. I want to press charges for assault just now and for what he did to me 3 days ago. Ryan's face contorted with rage. You'll regret this. No one will believe you. It'll be your word against mine, and you're the one with brain damage. Detective Parker stepped between us. Mr. Hayes, that sounded an awful lot like a threat. You're all overreacting, Ryan insisted, desperation creeping into his voice. Demi, please. I'm sorry if I scared you. I love you. We can work this out. I looked at him, seeing clearly for the first time. No, Ryan. We can't. As the officer cuffed him, Ryan's pleading turned to threats. This isn't over. You think you can do this to me? You're nothing without me. Nothing! His shouts echoed down the hallway as they led him away. Mia put her arm around me. You did it. No, I said, holding up the flash drive. We did it, but it's not over yet. The weeks that followed were a blur of police statements, medical examinations, and legal consultations. My memory returned in fragments, enough to corroborate the evidence on the flash drive. I sat in the district attorney's office with Mia and Detective Parker, reviewing my testimony for the preliminary hearing. The emails alone are damning, D.A. Harrison explained. Combined with your medical records, Dr. Wheeler's report, and Claire's testimony about the pattern of behavior, we have a solid case. What charges exactly? I asked. Attempted murder, domestic assault, financial fraud, and insurance fraud, Detective Parker listed. The premeditation is clear from his searches. He's still claiming I fell accidentally, I said. D.A. Harrison nodded. His attorney reached out about a plea deal. He's offering to plead guilty to the financial charges if we drop the attempted murder charge. And? I pressed. I told them to pound sand, Harrison replied with a thin smile. We're proceeding with all charges. Later, at a small cafe near the courthouse, I met with Claire and Dr. Wheeler. The healing process isn't linear, Dr. Wheeler cautioned. Physically, you're recovering well, but the emotional trauma takes longer. Claire nodded in agreement. I still have nightmares sometimes, but they fade. How did you move forward? I asked her. One day at a time, she replied, and by finally speaking my truth. My phone rang, my sister calling from Portland. I excused myself to answer. How did it go? Jen asked immediately. The DA is confident, I told her. Ryan's being held without bail. Good. I never liked him, she said. When are you coming to stay with me? Soon, I promised. I need to finish things here first. After the call, I returned to find Mia had arrived. Ryan's attorney cornered me outside, Mia said, sliding into a chair. He had the nerve to ask if I'd talk to you about dropping charges. What did you tell him? Dr. Wheeler asked. Mia grinned. Nothing printable in polite company. 2 days later, I received the call that Ryan wanted to speak with me. Against everyone's advice, I agreed to a supervised meeting at the detention center. He looked diminished in the orange jumpsuit, his charm useless against concrete walls. Thank you for coming, he began. I've had time to think. I'm not here for apologies, I interrupted. Demi, we had something real, he insisted. I made mistakes, terrible mistakes, but what we had was a lie, I finished. Every moment was built on manipulation and control. That's not true, he pleaded. I loved you. I still love you. No, Ryan. You loved what I represented. Access to my family's trust fund, my connections, my blind trust. But you never loved me. His expression hardened. So this is revenge? Making me pay? This isn't revenge, I corrected him. It's justice and closure. They're offering 20 years, he said, desperation cracking his voice. If you speak for me, tell them it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding when you pushed me down those stairs. It wasn't a misunderstanding when you researched how to kill me and make it look accidental. And it certainly wasn't a misunderstanding when you stood by my hospital bed, pretending to care while planning to finish what you started. Ryan's facade finally crumbled completely. Please, Demi, I'm begging you. I stood. Goodbye, Ryan. I hope you use those 20 years to reflect on your choices. Outside, Mia was waiting with Claire and Detective Parker. How do you feel? Mia asked. Like I can finally breathe again, I answered honestly. 2 months later, after Ryan's guilty plea and sentencing, I stood in my new apartment in Portland, unpacking the last box. That's everything, Jen announced, collapsing onto my couch. Are you sure about this job offer? It's not too late to change your mind. I looked out the window at my fresh start. I'm sure. The trauma center needs counselors who understand what their patients are going through. My phone buzzed with a text from Mia. First day of the rest of your life. Proud of you. That evening, I sat with my sister on the balcony, watching the sunset. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't remembered? Jen asked. I considered this. I think the truth finds a way to surface. Even without memories, I knew something was wrong. I felt it. Trust your instincts, Jen nodded. That's what I'm teaching my patients now, I said. Memory can be fragile, but intuition rarely lies. As darkness fell over the city, I thought about how close I'd come to becoming another statistic, another victim who never got justice. Instead, I'd found my voice and my strength. What would you do if you woke up to find your life was built on lies? Would you have the courage to tear it all down and start again? Sometimes the hardest part isn't surviving the fall. It's deciding to get back up. Have you ever had to rebuild your life from scratch? Share your story in the comments below.